यार मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी को आप लोग बुरा मत मानना. You don't need 100 customers. You need one customer who loves you.
Yeah.
Overvalue in 1 year, undervalue in 10 years.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome. I am Rajneesh Negi, founder and director PMT India. And today I would like to welcome all of you to the first episode of Brand Vaani, which is an initiative to help people across the industry understand about how the brands are worked on and how you face the challenges in the market and what are the different strategies that the founders, CEOs, directors, and the marketing heads they use to overcome those challenges. And today we have with us Mr. Vivek. Mr. Vivek is the founder and CEO of Fibroheal Wound Care, and he's based out of Bangalore. Vivek is a B Farm and MBA graduate, right? Probably like many of us over here. And it's great to see someone from the same field to reach such heights. So, if I could talk about his startup is the one which is actually India's first medtech which uses silk proteins to heal the wounds. And Vivek, you can correct me when you are speaking if I say something wrong. And his startup has been awarded by a lot of different institutions, including the government of India, as one of the best startups to look out for or the startup of the year. And recently, his organization case study has been published in the world famous and very renowned Harvard as a Harvard case study on strategy, sustainability, and leadership. So today we are over here to discuss this same case study and to learn from Vivek about his journey and what are the challenges that he faced, how did it overcome it, and what are the learnings for all of us. I would request all of you to stay till the end because I'm sure this session is going to be full of a lot of learnings. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write in the chat box. And if the time permits, towards the end, we'll take up the questions also. So, Vivek, hi, good evening.
Good evening, Rajneesh, and good evening, everyone.
Okay. So, Vivek, I would like to start my talk with you. And to first of all, I would like to ask you that if you can just share a bit about your background. How did you think about, you come from B Farm, MBA, and I'm sure from a middle class family, right? What was the thought that struck you, and why did you take up this entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So thanks, Rajneesh. More or less, we have spoken what is the background of most, I think more than 95% of the people coming from a small place, middle class family. And that's what things happen because from early stage, when you are from a middle class family, you are taught to adjust and you are always spoken or, you know the things and derive something based on the value and not on the cheapness. Just teach it. There is your offer, there is something wrong, so I will take, or something on cards, I will take it. That's what get inculcated, and I think not only me, but each one of us. And that is what is the biggest mileage or the biggest strength what anyone has. Why I say that? Of course, I was born in a small village in UP, and then as I grew up in northeastern part of India, that is Arunachal Pradesh. And Arunachal Pradesh is something which is known for, lot of struggles. Particularly those days, road connectivity was not that far. There used to be landslides, and then 15 days, 20 days, almost about a month, there will be short supplies. What with fancy terms we call supply chain and all those kind of things. But we have seen those kind of challenges, which people are going through or go through. We have seen those challenges, supply of materials and all these things. Somehow, what they call it, situation hardened. So I became situation hardened that way. I went on to do my pharma, then did my MBA, moved to Bangalore, joined a startup at a very early stage in edutech space called Simply Learn Solutions. Okay. So I was one of among the founding members. We were a team of 3 people. And that point of time, today they have a strong team of 1,700 odd people, and Blackstone has funded them. So So it's in training and edutech space. So similarly, I worked in different sectors. My last assignment being with Tata Chemicals, where I was leading the rice seed business.
Okay.
And under when I was leading that, that's when we jumped from fifth position to third position.
Okay.
And only beyond DuPont and Bayer. Bayer being the market leader.
Hmm.
Now you will be surprised to know a pharma guy, selling seeds and traveling to certain parts of the country in Jharkhand and explaining about एक number, दो number, तीन number and Behra type of जमीन. And speaking in Supaul in Bihar, mentioning that कि एक टायर मीटर के एरिया में आपको 35 पौधे लगाने हैं. And speaking in Orissa, that समझते चाची भाई मानू को namaskar. All those local language, that's what is the beauty of brand building and marketing. You have to get connect to your consumers, customers, your associates in that way. So that's how it happened. Now, while working with Tata, in a place called Dhamtari, that is about 120 kilometers from Raipur, is when I first, saw Tussar silk. And Tussar silk was, that is hunted silk and it is from the tree. And we had heard about sutures and ligatures in our pharmacognosy classes. Many of pharma students will relate it. CK Kokate. So that's how it came. And, finally, something happened. Then, it stopped. In between, you again get involved, day-to-day working and other kind of thing. But what happens, once something has to happen, it keeps coming in front of you. And parallelly, when that was happening, I was able to meet a gentleman called Bharat, who has built a company in animal health space called Vetcare, which formed a JV with Promi and later on acquired by Cargill. And the matchmaking was done by one of the leading cardiothoracic surgeons from Command Hospital, Air Force, Pune. He was first cardiothoracic surgeon from Bihar and one of the gold medalists. And I think he was also topper from Armed Force Medical College, Pune. And that's when, he said that you guys should meet at least for a coffee. And we decided, it clicked, and then, me and Bharat started the journey together. We registered company on 6th April 2017. And why did we choose silk? Because silk was one such area where everyone has done research. There were a lot of publications, but not even one product. So everyone says maybe, can be, possibly. So why we said, why can't we make it happen? And that was the idea with which we started. We were not knowing, what is CDSCO, what is regulatory, how long is the path, what is ISO 13485, and we registered the company and GST was getting implemented. So typically we started operations from 1st July 2017 when the GST was implemented. And that's how the journey has been. And initially we were a team of 2 people I have recruited, at that point of time. One was Mrs. Bhagyalakshmi, who still leads my marketing team.
I know.
And she's employed number 2, and another gentleman named Mr. Pranav Tripathi, who was a fresh MSc entomology pass out. He leads my North India business totally today. So that's how has been the journey, and that's how has been the start.
Oh wow! And this person, senior person, doctor, I think he's still on. He's also on your board, something like that.
No, he's not on the board, but he's a well-wisher and he's available to us whenever he's in Bangalore. He's right now dean of one of the famous medical institutes called MGMIPR something in Nashik. Mahatma Gandhi, Maharashtra, Mahatma Gandhi something in Nashik. And many of you know the name of the gentleman is Major General Sushil Kumar Jha. Okay. That's the name of the person.
Okay. So Vivek, you have taken the journey. You started. Right. Easy part is done.
Right.
Now comes the most difficult part.
Right.
Paul, why did what were the challenges that you faced when you entered this industry? Because you're coming up with a product which no one has. Everybody's read about it. Nobody has seen the practical aspect about it. Nobody knows whether it will work or not work. And you, like you said, you started from Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, right? And you have to explain. So similarly, now you were doing the same thing, but now your designation was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, you can say entrepreneur. And I will also give you an example. Many of the product managers who are out there, मेरी strategy को आप लोग बुरा मत मानना, because मेरे visiting card पे कोई designation नहीं था. और जब मेरे से पूछा जाता था कि यार एक CMA स्पॉन्सर करा दो, मैं बोलता था सर मैनेजर से पूछ के बताऊंगा, और फिर बोलता था सर my manager is a useless fellow, he has not approved the budget. क्योंकि that's how, early stage में you don't have money, how do you sponsor all those events?
True, very true.
So initially I never said that I am the CEO. I always used to say that I am sir मेरा तो क्या एक पापी पेट का सवाल है job. That's how you do it, in a frugal manner. And
Yes.
everyone thinks that if there is a CEO or MD or founder written on your card, you have crores
Yes.
lying in your bank account, which is not true. So that's how, later on we put that designation to it. But many times we used to carry a blank visiting card with just name Vivek mentioned on it. That is one part of it. But coming to the right question, what you have said, what are the challenges I faced?
Yes.
Initially, I have thought of that funding will be a challenge. Aligning, getting approvals will be a challenge. Building a team will be a challenge. But the biggest challenge what I faced was aligning and stitching everyone to a common vision. That Fibroheal is above me, Fibroheal is above you, Fibroheal is above everyone. We are all working on a common cause to make silk proteins mainstream and ensure that we are the first pioneers from India and probably the world to have commercialized silk proteins and made it successful. Aligning everyone, because what has happened is हम सभी लोग इंसानों के साथ डील करते हैं. I differ slightly with the जो लोग कॉन्सेप्ट यूज करते हैं ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, हम लोग रिसोर्सेज के साथ डील नहीं कर रहे. वी आर डीलिंग विद पीपल हु हैव इमोशंस, जिनकी फीलिंग्स होती है, जो अलग अलग आप जिसे 6 समझते हैं उसे वो 9 समझते हैं कई बार. You have to deal with these uncertainty. So the biggest challenge what I faced was to build the team, to align them to the common cause. And even I still struggle today for that. How do your marketing will say कि मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, production will say ये कर रहा हूँ, R&D will say ये कर रहा हूँ. Like, how do you say that, if each one of you are very, very crucial for me, and you can't ask me whether index finger is important or ring finger is important or thumb is important. Everyone is important. And unless all three of you are together, you can't create the punch, what they often call punchline in brand. So all those things, align together. But the toughest part is man management, people management, followed by, having the knowledge of regulatory framework. And third, I will put is funding. And fourth is ensuring that your interest is alive. How it was on day one till the after 6 years or 7 years. वो जो dialogue है ना कि marriage में प्यार हमेशा बने रहना चाहिए. That same thing, you have to be, your passion and प्यार should continue with your startup and the idea to make it happen.
I think you have summed up very well. People management is one of the most important challenges that any organization face, be it a startup or be it a Fortune 500 company.
True.
Everybody
Very
faces
true.
the same thing, and it's not easy to handle people and to, like you said, to bring them to a common cause. Right. So if you can just give an insight, how did you bring everyone to a common cause? If you can share some insight. How did you do this?
Yeah. So one of the easy ways to do it, if you remember 20 years back, everyone used to stay together. Why? Grandfather, grandmother, parents, then children, dada, dadi, nana, nani, all will play together. Nowadays, parents and one child is the trend, which you might have heard. Why I say that? In earlier cases, there were challenges. And when challenge comes, when an external challenge is there, people come together to solve it. That is one of the easiest method to bring the team together. And when you are building a startup, yeah, challenges होते हैं. So आपको हर जगह पे ensure करना है कि people are look at it from the different directions without taking things personally. Secondly, हमारे केस में जो हम लोग follow करते हैं, we follow a simple procedure in our company Fibroheal, which is called Scrum. हर Monday, Wednesday and Friday को मेरे केबिन में सब लोगों को आना होता है. 10 से 10:30 के बीच में ये होता है. हर किसी को साथ में चाय पीना होता है, और पार्लियामेंट्री और अनपार्लियामेंट्री दोनों वर्ड्स बोले जाते हैं सारे डिपार्टमेंट हेड्स के बीच में. लेकिन उस रूम के बाहर कुछ नहीं जाएगा. So if production has some issue with marketing, he can say that you are useless. Marketing can say R&D that you have not done anything. But उस टेबल के beyond कुछ नहीं जाएगा. What happens? It gives you a safe space. Point number one. Number two, it gives you a freedom to vent out things. It does not allow to get it built inside. And at the end of the day, I said, I don't look at it like a resources. I look at it like human beings. Human beings have emotions. You should not allow emotions to get, bottled up inside you. That is one of the effective ways how I do it. I allow a safe place where people can speak. And that is one of the reasons, why politics is quite minimal in Fibroheal. We try to avoid, because that is what, is the biggest barrier of growth or, alignment of any company, and you can't prevent it. So try to minimize it. And when the department heads are aligned, then it's their responsibility to align this. So when you align that responsibility, it's not that generally department में क्या होता है कि sales team ने top किया, production team fail हुई, production ने माल बनाया, sale बेच नहीं पाया. That is not what it is. So unless it's exactly like how the car moves, everyone has to function together. That is what is the simple step what we follow, Rajneesh, and that has been the secret. You know how Fibroheal team is so aligned, so bound. Although they fight a lot, but there is nothing personal. It's all for the common cause, bigger goal, and building and making silk protein mainstream. And I'm sure many of the new joinees, who are 2 weeks old in the organization itself, they take up that culture. Because at the end of the day, वो कल्चर में लाना जरूरी है कि आप जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आए हो वहां पॉलिटिक्स होती है, बैक स्टेबिंग होती है, चीजें बोली जाती है, यहाँ आपको सामने बोलना है आके. डोंट थिंक दैट यू विल बी जज्ड.
I think that's a wonderful.
That's the safe space you have to create. And as a CEO, if you are able to create that, down the line, that things will fall in place.
I think that's a wonderful learning, Vivek. Not only for me, but I think for everyone who has joined this podcast. Plus, when we will be telecasting on our different channels, right? I think this is a point which all of us should know and learn. Because today you might be at an executive level, but tomorrow when you will be handling teams, your role changes.
Correct.
Right? Manager is not only about brand management or product management or people. It's about how you manage the people in the team. Getting the task done from your team, that's a very big thing. And small things like Vivek said, just a cup of coffee, meeting for a cup of coffee or tea in the 3 days in a week. It's a very simple yet a very, very, very effective strategy. Thank you, Vivek, for sharing this. I think that's a wonderful insight. Okay, now my next is this question is, once you've started this, Fibroheal, and you have now gone into the market, now you have taken this journey, now you're working on this. Now comes how do you convince consumer to try your products? When you're coming up with something new, not only say in your industry, but it's like a case study for every industry. Right. How do you tell consumer that you should try something which nobody has? This is the first product of its kind in India or in the country. I want you to try it. How do you convince someone? How do you go about it?
I'm sure everyone in this group who would have joined the today's session, they would know about it. I will go back to a little, since we are discussing from marketing side also, I will give you a little fancy story. जब हम लोग कॉलेज में पढ़ते थे या कोई भी कॉलेज में पढ़ता था, हर बैच में या सीनियर में या जूनियर में एक खूबसूरत लड़की होती थी जिसे किसी में हिम्मत नहीं होती थी अप्रोच करने की. And at the end of the day, you will realize that the guy who is the most undeserving, he's roaming around with that lady or whatever. No offense to anyone, but this is exact example of brand management. What happens is, please take up and go and talk to the people. That's the most important lesson what it teaches you, whether you are a startup, you are a brand or whatever. किसी भी चीज करने के पहले, कंक्लूजन करने के पहले 50 लोगों से बात कर लो. वहां पे आपको 85% रियलिटी आपको पता चल जाएगी. Because every child is great according to their parents. Every product is great according to the founder. But is the market accepting it? So सबसे अच्छी चीज है कि सिर्फ मैं ही नहीं बोल रहा हूं आप महान हो, सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं आप महान. पॉइंट नंबर 1. इसके लिए आप अप्रोच करो. अप्रोच करने में सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या आता है? वी आर ए कंपनी, न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट. It's exactly like, imagine a new guy, a guy from Delhi, put it in Chennai. So new guy, new place. It will be a disaster. But if the person survives for 2 years, he will be able to manage and he will be a perfect soldier, that way. Similarly, as a company, new concept, new product, new company, when you take it, people can compare you with some of the leading players like Johnson & Johnson, 3M, Smith, and if you name it, and they will compare you. Now, here comes the other angle, that is resilience. What you should take from tortoise. 150 years that bugger survives, both on land as well as in sea. So resilience is something which helps you to fight those things. Because if the same concept a company like J&J brings, people will try out immediately. So only thing what we have to do is keep hammering it. How do you hammer it? First you go and meet a surgeon. He will say, यार हाँ ठीक है, research कहाँ किए हो, ठीक है काम करो, 13 नंबर बेड पे रामलाल है, उस पर apply कर दो. You go there, nurse will not allow you to apply. You meet nurse next day, thank you madam, take the number, come back, next day again you go off next week. अरे यार वो भूल गई थी, I got a phone, I had a meeting with MS, नहीं हुआ. फिर आप थर्ड मीटिंग में जाओगे, अरे मैडम नहीं हुआ, मैडम I wanted to do activity, can I do it in your hospital, this that all that. फिर चौथे बार हुआ, ठीक है एक बार अप्लाई करना. फोर्थ टाइम या फिफ्थ टाइम में सी विल अप्लाई, देन अनदर 1 or 2 weeks सी विल टेक टू गिव फीडबैक. इन पैरेलल अगर आप जनरली क्या होता है, सेकेंड या थर्ड मीटिंग के बाद से लोग फॉलो अप नहीं करते हैं, बट दैट इज व्हाट डिसाइड्स द फेलियर एंड द सक्सेस. जब आप 5-6 बार मारे तो अगली जब फिफ्थ या सिक्स्थ मीटिंग में सी विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई. एंड उसके पहले आपने बोला होगा मैडम ये हॉस्पिटल में अच्छा काम किया, ये हॉस्पिटल में अच्छा काम किया है, सो इमीडिएटली सी विल हैव ए पॉजिटिव आउटलुक टुवर्ड्स इट. Unless your product really performs bad, that's a different. That's when she applies it and you tell her कि मैडम ऐसे ऐसे apply करना है, she will see the result because your product works, you have proven the science and all that. जब वो एक कस्टमर हुआ ना, I mean there is a famous dialogue in startup ecosystem is you don't need 100 customers, you need one customer who loves you.
Yes, exactly.
Not who likes you.
Very good.
So जो आप 6 विजिट 7 विजिट के बाद जो एक कस्टमर बनाए जो आपको who loves you is worth more than 1,000, and that is when the person will start opening up with you because 6 विजिट्स हो गए हैं, 5 विजिट्स हो गए हैं. यहीं पे काम आता है what I said about Tota, that is resilience. If you are resilient enough, if you are sustained, and इस तरह से if you make 5 or 10 customers, they will help you. दूसरी चीज एक और बात क्या आती है कि people want to be profitable from day one, which is a damn good thing. I don't deny it. But when you are building a sustainable company with new science and something unique, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड एक बच्चा पैदा होते ही चलने नहीं लगता है. 5 साल के होने के बाद चाइल्ड विल गिव यू ए कप ऑफ a glass of water or whatsoever. We expect it from day one. It's a journey. It's like committing to a parenthood. Startup is like that. It demands that. So building any company, if you are thinking of starting a company, if you are thinking to solve a genuine problem, make a timeline of 10 years, a decade. Trust me, what you can achieve, we human beings always overvalue what we can achieve in 1 year and always undervalue what we can achieve in 10 years. Overvalue in 1 year, undervalue in 10 years. And this is the life case. When I started, I never knew I will reach here. But 6 years to Fibroheal, today we are here. And I'm telling you, in next 4 years, we will grow more than at least 7-8x than what we are today.
Yes,
absolutely. That is how the compounding comes in. Very simple. So these are some of the learnings, what I had. And अगर आप रियल लाइफ को इस तरह लेके चलोगे ना, बिल्डिंग एनी कंपनी, सॉल्विंग एनी बिग प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट ए चैलेंज एंड एनीवन कैन एक्सेल एंड सस्टेन, एंड न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट कैन बी एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन द मार्केट.
वाओ, आई थिंक that's a wonderful point, विवेक. एंड जो आपने बात करी सस्टेनेबिलिटी की, वो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी जब हम बात करते हैं किसी बिजनेस में, बड़ा था कि आपको क्या लगता है, आपके हिसाब से क्या की कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं किसी भी बिजनेस को सस्टेनेबल बनने के लिए? क्या एक तो पहले मतलब क्या होता है, क्योंकि हमारी कुछ ऑडियंस जो है जो यंग है, राइट, तो एक बिजनेस, सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस का मतलब क्या है और उसके कंपोनेंट्स आपको क्या लगता है क्या क्या होने चाहिए?
या वेरी गुड रजनीश. तो सबसे पहले सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस वो होता है जो अपने आप में अपना खर्च निकालता है, इकोसिस्टम्स को पूरा वैल्यू क्रिएट करके देता है, मतलब इन द सेंस, एंड दैट्स हाउ द होल यूनिवर्स इज मेड. एज सिंपल एज दैट. आप जैसे ही ऑक्सीजन लेते हो, यू हैव टू गिव कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बैक. यू आर टेकिंग फ्रॉम प्लांट, यू हैव टू गिव इट बैक. पार्टिकल सिस्टम हमारे यूनिवर्स और कॉस्मोस में इनबिल्ट है. सो आप देखिए कि आप सांस लेते हो तो आपको छोड़ना ही पड़ेगा. यू कांट कीप ब्रीथ इनसाइड. सिमिलरली यू हैव टू गिव इट. दैट सेम वे यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड. एंड जो चीज मैं करना चाह रहा हूँ, why did we choose silk? Because silk has that economic multiplier potential. जो silk growing farmers हैं उनको बेनिफिट मिलता है, जो हमारे ट्रीटिंग जो सर्जन्स हैं उनका टाइम कम होता है, लोड उन पे कम आता है, जो हमारे पेशेंट्स हैं उनका कॉस्ट ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट, जो हीलिंग टाइम है वो कम होता है. ऑल दीज थिंग्स व्हाट वी कॉल सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी, ये सारी चीजें जब आप देखते हो ना तो सस्टेनेबिलिटी का पार्ट अपने आप हो जाता है. और सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इसके पहले जो मैंने बोला था, रिजिलियंस, कि जब तक आपके अंदर वो बाउंस बैक करने के, और अदर टर्म्स में व्हाट दे कॉल्ड विगर, कि विगर और रेजिलियंस जब तक आपके अंदर नहीं होगा, थिंग्स विल नॉट मूव टू दैट डायरेक्शन. दैट सेम वे जो नए ऑडियंस है उनके लिए सस्टेनेबिलिटी मतलब बिजनेस शुड सर्वाइव ऑन इट्स ओन. इट शुड जनरेट एनफ कैश which is able to support your growth plans. That is what in simple term is business sustainability. And when you are doing something, what I mentioned, that like barter system, कि जब आप नेचर से कुछ लेते हो तो देना पड़ता है, वैसे ही अगर फार्मर से ले रहे हो तो उन्हें भी तो कुछ आना चाहिए पैरेलली. Correct. So that's how, those are the things, you look at it as a whole, in a very holistic manner, and that's how you address it.
यू टुक अप पॉइंट फार्मर्स के ऊपर, वही मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कि आपने कैसे फार्मर्स को समझाना कम्युनिटी को, क्योंकि आपका फार्मर्स इज वन ऑफ द वेरी की इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट इन योर एंटायर बिजनेस मॉडल, राइट?
करेक्ट।
उनको समझाना कि एक तो खेती करो सिल्क की, राइट? One is this, and then second is कि how do you build a community of people who don't understand business, right? तो आपने एक community building की, if you can just share some insight उसमें से।
श्योर श्योर। सो इसके पहले बहुत से लोग सिल्क के बारे में नहीं जानते होंगे, सिल्क कैसे होता है। आई विल टेल ए बैकग्राउंड अबाउट इट। नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपेंस, जो डीएफएल्स बोलते हैं, जो या जो एक्स बोलते हैं, वो मलबरी लीफ, जिसे नॉर्थ इंडिया में सहतूत कहा जाता है, सहतूत, सहतूत के पत्ते खाते हैं। सिल्क चार तरह का होता है, इरी, मुगा, टसर और मलबरी। और ये जो चीजें होती हैं, जो हमारे मलबरी लीफ, ये खाने के बाद वर्म बड़ा होता है, और एक साल में यूजुअली 6 से 7 साइकिल्स होती हैं। मतलब सिल्क कल्टीवेशन इज एज गुड एज ए सैलरी, एवरी 42 डे यू गेट मनी आउट ऑफ इट। नाउ जो कीड़ा होता है वो एक समय के बाद कुकून स्पिन करता है, और कुकून के अंदर वो ये हो जाता है, मतलब कीड़ा कुकून के अंदर रहता है, एंड दैट्स व्हेन यू पुट इट इन बॉइलिंग, सेलाइन बॉइलिंग वाटर। और जब आप उसे सेलाइन बॉइलिंग वाटर में डालते हो तो थ्रेड निकलता है, 700 से 850 मीटर का थ्रेड निकलता है, विच इज यूज्ड फॉर रीलिंग एंड वीविंग, एंड दैट इज यूज्ड इन टेक्सटाइल्स। और जो कीड़ा जो पानी के ऊपर फ्लोट करता है, उसे आप एक्सट्रूड करके इट इज यूज्ड इन ब्रॉयलर एंड अदर काइंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज, इंक्लूडिंग कई जगह पे एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड लोग एएलए वगैरह भी निकालते हैं, अल्फा लिनोइक एसिड और ये सब चीजें निकालते हैं। नाउ व्हाट वी डू, वी आर एज वेजिटेरियन एज मिल्क और हनी। सो हम क्या करते हैं, हम कीड़ा को इमर्ज होने देते हैं। सो सिल्क वर्म, वंस इट इमर्जेस फ्रॉम द कुकून, व्हाट इज लेफ्ट इज एम्प्टी शेल, खाली, जिसे हिंदी में कोया बोला जाता है, खाली कोया। द वर्म, जो वर्म होता है, इट बिकम्स ए मोथ और बटरफ्लाई, देन अगेन दैट मेल फीमेल मेटिंग, प्रोड्यूसिंग एग्स एंड डाइंग नेचुरल डेथ इन 3 to 5 days। ये जो स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल होता है, इसमें 2 प्रोटीन्स होते हैं, दैट इज आवर स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल। अपर लेयर इज कॉल्ड सेरिसिन। सेरिसिन जो होता है, इट हैज गुड कॉस्मेटिक एप्लीकेशन, इवन कंपनीज लाइक फैब इंडिया और एनी स्टोर इस पे जो यूज किया जाता है, मतलब दे मेक कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट्स। जो इनर मटेरियल होता है, फाइब्रोइन, दैट इज यूज्ड for healing, मतलब making various formulations for healing different types of dressings or wound care solutions। इस केस में अगर आप देखिए कि we don't kill the silkworm, what is left is empty shell, they die the natural death। आप इमर्ज किए, pierced cocoon और broken cocoon हुआ, जिससे आप worm जो है वो मोथ बन के निकला, मेट किया, एग्स प्रोड्यूस किया, एंड डाइज द नेचुरल डेथ। जो empty cell है, that's why I said we are as vegetarian as milk or honey।
Okay.
Now एक और चीज आप लोगों को बता दूं, कई लोग, जो लोग यहाँ फार्मा फील्ड से हैं, जो लोगों को पता होगा कि जब कोई भी चोट लगती है तो सूचरिंग होता है।
Yes.
जो सबसे पहला सूचर होता है वो सिल्क थ्रेड का होता है, फॉलोड बाय कैट गट। कैट गट इज इवन टुडे, जो कैट की अतड़ी होती है उससे बनाया जाता है, विच इज द बिगेस्ट, इवन जॉन आज तक जो यूज हुआ है वही होता है। सो इवन अगर देखा जाए, चाहे जो हार्ट के वॉल्स भी होते हैं, वो सारी चीजें इसी से होते हैं। तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मेक प्रोडक्ट्स आउट ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल मटेरियल्स, क्योंकि दिस इज ऑल्सो टू पार्सली एड्रेस सौरभ, because those artificial materials causes oxidative stress in the body, that's why they become unsuitable for human consumption or human surgical intervention। इसकी वजह से आपको कई बार नेचुरल मटेरियल्स पे रिसाइड करना पड़ता है टू कम फॉरवर्ड टू इट। ओके, सो फार्मर्स की जो कम्युनिटी होती है, यूजुअली वी हैव 3 methods। वी हैव कपल ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स हु आर वर्किंग ऑन digitizing the supply chain। We also have collaboration with places like Central Silk Board, CSTRI, and other areas जो Ministry of Textiles के अंदर आती हैं। And we have more than 500 farmers जो हमारे साथ डायरेक्टली अटैच। नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, जो टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री होती है, वो सिल्क वर्म जो होती है, जिसके अंदर कीड़ा है ऑलरेडी, उस कुकून को थ्रेड में डालती है और निकाल देती है। थ्रेड कम्स आउट, कीड़ा इज यूज्ड फॉर चिकन और ब्रॉयलर इंडस्ट्री, जो भी ये है। इस केस, अगर इस प्रोसेस से देखा जाए तो ऑफकोर्स, मतलब दिस इज फॉर टेक्सटाइल्स। हमारे लिए ये सुटेबल क्यों नहीं होता है? इस केस में जब आप करते हो तो बहुत सारे फॉरेन मटेरियल्स आते हैं। हमारे केस में जो फार्मर्स होता है, वो कई बार हमें सिल्क, मतलब जो हमें सप्लाईज करते हैं, उसके लिए हमें उनको अलग रेट देना पड़ता है। अगर मार्केट रेट 800 रुपए है, एंड वंस द कुकून इज ब्रोकन, इन दैट केस पीपल विल नॉट गेट द वैल्यू, बिकॉज इट्स ए वेस्ट। तो जो मैं हमेशा कॉन्सेप्ट प्रमोट करता हूं, वेस्ट टू वेल्थ, क्योंकि व्हाट इज ए वेस्ट फॉर द पर्सन what is waste for a person, in terms of once the cocoon is broken, it is unfit for reeling. He will not get the value. इसीलिए जो फार्मर का सबसे बड़ा प्रेशर होता है, और आप लोगों को रेट बताऊंगा तो रजनीश, you will be shocked. Silk used to be 300 rupees kg. Today it sells for 2000 rupees kg. 6x growth. Modi is talking about doubling farmers' income. I have, more than quadrupled the farmers' income who are dealing with silk with the non-textile application. तो वही मैं बताया कि this is how industrial impact can create so many change in livelihoods. और मेरी कंजम्पशन अभी लिमिटेड है, अभी तक मैं 10 टन भी कंज्यूम नहीं करता हूँ. आई एम नॉट इवन कंज्यूमिंग 10 टन एट द मोमेंट. इंडिया प्रोड्यूसेस 35,000 मेट्रिक टन. इमेजिन अगर हम जब 1000 टन की कैटेगरी में जाएंगे, हाउ मच इंपैक्ट वी कैन क्रिएट इन टर्म्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंप्रूविंग द फार्मर्स इनकम, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंप्रूविंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ. तो ये जो फार्मर्स का हमने बनाया, अब एक समय पे जब अगर कहाँ उसको 300 या 600 रुपए किलो मिल रहा है, और जब when we buy it for 2000 rupees kg, saying that we want broken cocoons, you allow the worm to become a moth and come out of it. So that is when it will be helpful. And that's how we have been able to create a list of more than 500 farmers who are directly, indirectly attached with us. And that's how we have been able to create that impact. I hope this was the story, which was, you could walk through the story.
Yes. I could, while you were speaking, pictures were coming into my mind, and I could imagine, how you went out, talked to farmers, कैसे आपने पूरा, because this is not only about a product, Vivek. I see this case study as something which is about perseverance, about communication, right? Brand building तो बहुत बाद में आया. सबसे
Correct.
पहले perseverance है. You have to,
Correct.
जैसा आपने कहा कि भाई 2 साल तो survive करे, उसके बाद देखिए क्या
Correct.
होगा. I
Correct.
think that's a very practical approach that a startup should have.
Correct.
And it's also wonderful to see, because आजकल के race में, when it's all about funding and evaluations and getting all those things, sticking to your vision, right, and walking on the right path, knowing कि this is what I want to achieve, and I will achieve it through my way. Now अब इसी में आते हैं कि now I take it as a product which is new in its category. ठीक है. What do you think a marketing person should, what should be the roadmap for a marketing person for this kind of product, in which a product which is kind of new in an industry which is about which people don't know. Now you have to make a brand.
Correct.
So apart from the scientific talk जो आप कर सकते हैं कि science बढ़ाइए, science समझाइए, what are the different things that you have been observing, या जो आपके दिमाग में है कि this is how it should be done?
This is a good question, Rajnish. And one of the building blocks, what you would have seen, that Fibroheal recruits a lot of interns.
Yes, I've seen.
Including some of the top colleges of MBA related to pharma healthcare management, including likes of Naipur Mohali, IHMR Jaipur, Narsi Monji, MET Noida, and to name a few. And apart from that, from R&D also, we recruit from some of the top premium colleges, and same with manufacturing and other areas, including HR, finance, and others. Why is it important? Understand that the person who is going to Naipur or some area is already a good material. The raw material is good. The impact what they can do. So what we do is we allocate them 2 month time frame. Why I said that internship I'm starting with for the brand building steps is these are fresh brain, and we give them freedom. Take Delhi, Gurgaon, we make them travel 5-6 states. Of course, at our cost, everything is on the company, and implement the strategy. Now what happens? 40 I will tell you some surprising facts. जो हमारे पहले बैच के नाइपर के इंटर्न्स थे ना, जो शुरू के 10 लोग प्लेस हुए थे, उसमें से 6 के 6 हमारे लोग प्लेस हुए थे. That is the kind of impact which we create. और जो हाईएस्ट पैकेज भी लगा था, उसमें हमारे जो one of our best interns got it. Yes. Unfortunate that I couldn't, because I was not having that bandwidth. But it feels happy at the end of the day. He or she is not joining me, but he or she is doing well in life, and that gives satisfaction. When it comes to brand building, one of the important aspects is most of the people get caught up in, which Rajnish, you will also agree with me, and most of the pharma guys are caught up in the war of pricing, discount, offer, and gifting. They can't think beyond this.
Yes.
Correct? What value do they create? What are the solutions you are offering? Now, I will give you a very simple example. Can you expect Covishield or Covaxin to be given at a discount? No. You have to solve a genuine problem. Once you don't have the depth, and the width, you will have to give this discount and get into those tactics. And when you look at building the brand, how do you communicate the value? What is the problem you are solving? Same iPhone, what iPhone does at 1 lakh, other phone is able to do it at 7K. But still that iPhone buyers are more. Why? Because of the value it creates, because of the perceived value what it has. That is what is brand. That we feel it is worth 10K, the other person feels it is worth 1 lakh, and that's why they say that if you are in right place, you will be valued accordingly. So that is one of the important aspects, that when you are as a new concept, new science, something you are trying to bring it to the market. Resilience is something, because resilience, the more number of years you are in the market, the trust is built. What is brand? At the end of the day, brand is trust. Correct. Why do we trust Tata so much? That sincere reason is their existence. Similarly, आप जितना समय market में देखो, जितना बार visible रहोगे, the brand gets created some way or the other. And that's how for a new science, the effort is 3x more compared to a new concept. For example, जब मैं silk लेके गया, I will tell you something very interesting, which many of guys will also like it. सबसे पहले लोगों ने बोला कि यार हम लोग कैटगेट यूज करते थे, we used to be very happy. हम सिल्क सूचर यूज नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि उससे एलर्जिक रिएक्शन आता है. ओके, दिस इज अ वेरी वंडरफुल केस. और किसी और से नहीं, वन ऑफ द टॉप मोस्ट हॉस्पिटल ऑफ दिल्ली, वीएमसीसी सफदरजंग हॉस्पिटल की बात कर रहा हूँ. The lady is a strong supporter today, and she kind of, other than get out, she said everything. This is a useless concept. कभी नहीं चलेगा. I'm talking about 5-6 years back. Today she is one of the strongest supporter and user. हमने क्या पता किया, जो जब when they make suture, they braid it. When they braid it, कई पार्ट का सेरिसिन के ट्रेसेस रह जाते हैं और उनका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट अगर हाई होता है तो दैट कॉजेज एलर्जिक रिएक्शन. फाइब्रोइन इज नॉट हैविंग एपिटोप्स. बट अगर ये क्वेश्चन नहीं आया होता तो क्या मैं जान पाता कि why is not using silk suture, why is uses catgut only? और जो बाकी पीजीएलए, पीएलए और जो अदर मटेरियल्स के जो बायोअब्जॉर्बेबल सूचर्स आए हैं उसकी वजह से, barbed and all those kind of things. Now in that case, जब हमने देखा तो पता चला, then we highlighted that after coming back, this was also a learning. We were not knowing everything about silk. Then हमने पता चला कि particular fibroin हम यूज करते हैं, particular molecular weight में यूज करते हैं, जो कि जिसके एपिटोप्स नहीं होने की वजह से एलर्जिक रिएक्शन नहीं होता है. However, still I used to say कि there is always a 0.1% chance of allergic reaction, it being an external protein from another biological source. So there is always, you can't, any biological source, you can't be 100% sure that नहीं होगा. तो हम उसमें भी हम, although हमें अभी तक केस नहीं मिले, लेकिन still I will keep that warning कि 0.1% chances, since it's the origin is from a biological source. So chances of allergic reaction is always there. You don't know, each human is different. So that's how we build the brand, and you have to create, you have to communicate the value. You have to think beyond just gifting and other things. And once you start talking value, people will start respecting you. They look forward to your you coming forward, your meeting, your ideas. And today that's what has been the secret of success of Fibroheal, or having that strong brand image. That is what is the real success mantra, Rajnish, from the brand side.
I think that's आपने जो बात बताई है, it has got a lot of lessons. I think the first lesson is that understand the magnitude of the problem that you're solving. The second is understand your product very well, because I see a lot of, I meet a lot of product managers, brand managers, group brand managers. Sometimes I'm surprised to see that their knowledge about their own product is not up to the mark, right? It's a very generalized knowledge that they have. And this is a very big, setback for the product strategy जब आप बनाते हैं किसी product की. And the third is, जो आपने एक बात बोली बीच में कि एक आपका supporter जिसने ना कहा, today she is one of the biggest supporter of yours.
Correct.
Why did this happen is because, of course, जो आपका approach है, it's entirely scientific. And अगर आप शायद जो आपने कहा कि if you would have gone taking price, मैडम प्राइस सबसे कम है, डिस्काउंट है, राइट, गिफ्ट ले लीजिए, तो probably today also she would have been a non-supporter only.
Correct.
But because you used a word which is very important in marketing, that is value creation. How do you create a value? How do you communicate that value? That is the crux of I think any marketing strategy. आपने इसको बहुत अच्छे एग्जाम्पल से भी समझाया, चाहे वो एप्पल का हो, चाहे कोई और प्रोडक्ट का हो, राइट. आपने उसको अच्छे एग्जाम्पल समझाया कि जो बड़ी कंपनीज है, बड़े ब्रांड्स है, दे कम्युनिकेट द वैल्यू. And I think this is a learning for all of us, that whenever you are creating any strategy for a brand, value क्या है, आपका प्रोडक्ट क्या सॉल्व कर रहा है, I think that should be where we should all focus. Now the next question is कि say suppose हमारे इस टॉक में काफी यंग लोगों ने भी ज्वाइन किया हुआ है, who and I always say this कि जो as this is one of the best times to be in this country, India.
करेक्ट करेक्ट.
जो आपका इकोसिस्टम है, जो आपको सपोर्ट मिल रहा है, शायद ना वो कभी मिला था, अब आगे मिलेगा वो अलग चीज है, लेकिन दिस इज लाइक अ फ्रेश प्लेग्राउंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. तो देर आर मेनी ऑफ अस ओवर हियर हु वांट टू स्टार्ट ऑन देयर ओन. उनको क्या तीन चीजों का ध्यान में रखना चाहिए when if somebody is wants to start, not necessarily in a like a blue ocean strategy कि बिल्कुल नए मार्केट में जा रहे हैं. इवन इफ यू हैव एन एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट, एग्जिस्टिंग मार्केट है, तो भी अगर कोई स्टार्टअप है, तो आपको क्या लगता है, as per you, which three qualities that startup founder should have?
तो अभी मैं स्टार्टअप की नहीं, स्टार्टअप फाउंडर की क्वालिटी बताऊंगा जो मेरी लर्निंग के हिसाब से. सबसे पहली चीज होनी चाहिए, the person needs to be committed. And when I say committed, at least you have to be prepared to be there for 60 months minimum. अच्छा बुरा चलेगा नहीं चलेगा, I will slog it for 60 months, 5 years. Although the ideal size to realize the value is 10, but 5 years is minimum, because after 5 years, if he or she survives, then he will, chances are high that he or she will take it forward. Okay. And by that time, unless someone makes a mistake, business won't fail. Second, keeping ego in check. That is one of the most important factors, whether it is your employees, it is your colleagues, it is your friends, it is your investors, it is your vendors, it is your suppliers. Please understand, आप उस जो कुर्सी पे बैठे हो सीईओ की या फाउंडर की, वो कुर्सी इसीलिए है क्योंकि कई सारे लोगों का सपोर्ट है, आपके वेंडर्स का, सप्लायर्स का. इमेजिन अगर फार्मर्स को कूपन हमें देना बंद कर दे, इमेजिन जो हमारे प्रोडक्ट के पैकेजिंग वो सप्लायर बंद करते हैं. आज ऑफ कोर्स ऑप्शंस है, चीजें हैं, सो यू हैव टू कीप ईगो इन चेक, बिकॉज वी ऑल नो दैट, सब लोगों को ये डायलॉग पता है कि हाउ यू मेड देम फील. अभी रिसेंटली आई वाज इन AICOG हैदराबाद, ऑल इंडिया कॉन्फ्रेंस फॉर ओबीजी एंड गायनिक, एंड फार्मा कंपनीज वर पैम्परिंग गायनिक्स एंड ओबीजी टू द कोर with selfies, with this free bus service, with this Agra ka samosa and Mathura ka petha and all those kind of. Why? This is to just create that, and all the top notch, senior VPs, divisional heads, cluster heads, handling 12 verticals. We could see. I also met some of my, students who were in my, classes of various, and today they are product managers. Some of you might have seen a post. They are product managers in some of the leading companies, leading brands. So, क्या होता है कि second is ego. And third is focus and ability to bounce back from failures. Focus and ability to bounce back. Because please understand, you are not going to be called and given everything on a platter. Absolutely. You are going to be hammered from every side. In that case, if you are not optimistic and you don't have ability to bounce back, those who watch cricket, you have to be like Virender Sehwag. एक ball पे beat हुआ, अगला ball पे try करेंगे. So that is the simple three things, which I will recommend to anyone. Focus and ability to bounce back. Second is keeping your ego in check. And third one, what was the first one? Perseverance. लोगों को साथ लेके चलने का. और वो सब के साथ में आपको होता है कि you need to be very transparent. You need to speak the way it is. You don't need to hide things. Please understand, as a startup founder, you don't need to know every science. My R&D head knows more science than me. My production guy knows more about product than me. My marketing lady knows more about the real market scenario than me. But that doesn't mean you need to trust people. और वो तभी आएगा जब आप अपने आप पे कॉन्फिडेंस रहोगे. अक्सर लोग क्या होता है, अपने ईगो में बैठ के पावर के चक्कर में चले जाते हैं. इट्स नॉट द पावर, इट्स द बिगर गेम, अलाइनिंग एवरीवन टू द बिगर कॉज. दैट्स व्हाट, दोज आर द क्वालिटीज व्हाट ए स्टार्टअप फाउंडर नीड टू हैव टू इंश्योर दैट ये जो भी कोई अगर फ्यूचर में आना चाहता है, ये क्वालिटीज हैं, तो दे विल डेफिनेटली सक्सीड. एंड गिव योरसेल्फ 60 months टाइम.
True.
You will be successful.
That's a very valid point, Vivek. Well, I also read it somewhere. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room.
Correct.
That's very important. And okay, guys. So if you guys have any questions that you would like to ask Vivek, you can type in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you would like to share any feedback. So we have, I think, one. I want to ask you, why suture making from catgut?
The reason being, suture catgut से इसलिए बनाया जाता है कि वो 21 days के अंदर अपने आप रिजॉल्व हो जाता है, बायो रिजॉल्व हो जाता है. So you have to look at material, and catgut is a concept which was in 1950s and 60s. और ये जो बात कहा जा रहा है अभी के केस में, ये बात आया सस्टेनेबिलिटी का, ये एनिमल हेल्थ का, एनिमल की चीजों का और इसका, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड एक और चीजें गोविंद जो मैं आपसे बताना चाहूंगा। यहाँ पे लोग क्या करते हैं, चिकन खाएंगे और बात करेंगे एनिमल राइट्स की ओवर ए मग ऑफ बियर एंड चिकन। सो द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज, कैटगट जो था ये बायोरिजॉर्बेबल है, इजिली अवेलेबल था, एंड लॉट ऑफ इंपोर्ट यूज टू हैपन अर्लियर। जो ठंडी कंट्रीज हैं लाइक रसिया, वहां से आता था, दैट वाज वन, एंड देयर वाज ओनली वन सूचर मैन्युफैक्चरर। इसीलिए एक सूचर जो था वो 3 से 4 हजार रुपए का बिकता था।
Okay.
आज की डेट पे 300-400 रुपए का बिकता है, जस्ट बिकॉज वी मेक इन इंडिया, जस्ट बिकॉज वी लर्न द टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ कैटगट। नहीं तो उस वक्त पता भी नहीं होता था किसी को कि आप में कैटगट लग रही है। आधे लोगों को तो वो जेलेटिन कैप्सूल खाते हैं, नॉन वो कोलाजन से बना होता है, पता नहीं होता उनको, एंड दैट्स हाउ इट इज। सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड कि जो नेचर आपको दिया हुआ है, एनी न्यू साइंस फॉर दैट मैटर जो होता है, यू हैव टू मूव अवे फ्रॉम दैट इमोशनल साइड एंड लुक एट सॉल्विंग ए रियल प्रॉब्लम which can impact many life. Correct. Yeah, what is that question?
Good evening, sir. My question is how you thought using silk? You could have thought about anything else also.
That's a how you thought using silk. You could have thought about anything else also. The reason being, सिल्क पे किसी ने ज्यादा काम नहीं किया था, बाकी मैटर पे सब जगह कर लिया गया था, और मेरी डेस्टिनी में सिल्क लिखा हुआ था। तो यही रीजन है कि मैं सिल्क पे काम किया। इनफैक्ट एक चीज हमने एक एक चीज करते गए, जैसे मैंने बताया कि आई मेट ए जेंटलमैन कॉल्ड भरत, एंड देन वी मूव्ड द जर्नी, एज वी मूव्ड along, I got support from founder of Sutures India. That's why, why I said Sutures, I know like back of my palm. Is my first angel investor is founder of Sutures India, what is called Healthier MedTech, and second largest suture company in the world.
Oh, Sutures India, I know. Yes.
So Sutures India का जो founder है, is my co-founder at Fibroheal. So he was my first angel investor also. So that's how I know everything about Sutures.
Wonderful, wonderful.
तो इसीलिए वो जो कैटगट कैसे होता है या ये कैसे होता है, चाहे वो सारे चीजें वी गॉट टू नो, एंड दैट्स हाउ वी डिसाइडेड एज वी मूव्ड अलोंग। वी न्यू दैट कि देयर वाज अ नीड गैप व्हिच एग्जिस्ट इन वुंड मैनेजमेंट का सेक्टर, एंड सिल्क के साथ में मूव्ड अलोंग एंड वी सॉ द रिजल्ट। फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग, मेरी टीम को पता है जो मेरे साथ हमारी काम करती हैं, कि हमें भी अगर चोट लगती है तो पहला प्रोडक्ट जो लगता है वो हमारा फाइब्रोइल पाउडर होता है। किसी को भी लगे, दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ ट्रस्ट यू नीड टू हैव, कि हम कुछ और नहीं लगाएंगे, हमारा प्रोडक्ट जो है लगाएंगे। अनलेस यू आर एबल टू इंश्योर दैट क्वालिटी एंड दैट ट्रस्ट, you can't build it. So I hope I have addressed Asia's question, कि that was Naseeb. So what qualities should a student should know for brand management? सबसे पहले enthusiastic, ability to create stories, huge patience and ability to partner with various department, to have the buy-in of all the department. When we say आपने बैठ के अपने बोर्ड रूम में स्ट्रेटेजी बना ली कि मैं ये स्ट्रेटेजी बनाऊंगी तो हमारा ये मॉइस्चराइजिंग क्रीम इंस्टाग्राम में इतना बढ़ जाएगा, और इससे हमारा स्कार क्रीम इतना नॉर्थ इंडिया में बिक जाएगा और वेस्ट इंडिया में इतना बिक जाएगा। बट प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, वो आपका नॉर्थ का बंदा अगर आपके स्ट्रेटेजी को लाइक नहीं किया तो ही विल नॉट मेक इट हैपन इन द हॉस्पिटल, डॉक्टर्स चैम्बर और द इंडिविजुअल डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स, एंड योर स्ट्रेटेजी विल फेल एंड यू विल टेक द हिटिंग। सो एज ए प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर द रोल इज दैट ऑफ ए मिनी सीईओ। सीईओ का रोल क्या होता है? सबको एक पावरफुल रोल लगता है, बट योर रोल इज लाइक ए engine oil. What an engine oil does? An engine oil ensures that every part of engine moves very smoothly without rubbing and hurting each other. And the engine oil becomes dirty, black होके निकल जाता है. That is what is the role of a CEO, and that is what is the role of a product manager in short. It's a very coveted and sought after role, but you need to be very closely deal with cross-functional department like human resource, finance, sales, production, R&D, so that आप उसकी वैल्यू कम्युनिकेट करो। आप जो स्ट्रेटेजी टैक्टिक्स सजेस्ट कर रही है वो टीम इंप्लीमेंट करे। आपकी जो स्ट्रेटेजी है वो इतनी इजी होनी चाहिए कि एक नॉर्मल बीए बंदा या बीएससी वाला बंदा एक इंप्लीमेंट कर सके कानपुर के किसी हॉस्पिटल में, या मऊ या सासाराम या रक्सौल या गुरदासपुर में। दैट्स हाउ द स्ट्रेटेजी शुड बी, इजिली इंप्लीमेंटेबल। इसके साथ में यू नीड टू हैव दैट आउटलुक कि ए के बाद बी कैसे होगा, बी के बाद सी कैसे होगा। इट्स मोर ऑफ ए विजनरी काइंड ऑफ थिंग, एंड दैट कैन ओनली हैपन if you spend a lot of time in researching and understanding the human behavior. That what you in fancy MBA term you call it consumer behavior. So I will call it human behavior because humans are the one who are consumer. So आपको ये सारे factors पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, and most important quality enthusiastic, और as a product manager थोड़ा फेंकने वाला कम होना पड़ेगा। You should talk logic and science. Correct. So I hope I have answered your question.
Okay. Yeah, wonderful. I think you have answered the right with the right point जो आपने उनको बोले हुए. Next question is from Sneha कि what is the future vision for your firm?
Yeah. फ्यूचर विजन के केस में है कि आई वांट टू बी द मोस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव वुंड केयर कंपनी एड्रेसिंग टू ऑल टाइप्स एंड स्टेजेस ऑफ द वुंड्स. और जब आप अपना हैंग बूट्स करो और जब नए सीईओ को बैटन पास करो, उस वक्त ये होना चाहिए कि देखो भाई, हम 200-250 करोड़ तक लाए हैं, इसे 2,500 करोड़ तक कैसे ले जाना है, शुड बी योर जर्नी. एंड आज की डेट पे हम 1,500 लोगों को एम्प्लॉय किए हैं, कैसे 15,000 होंगे, वो तुम्हारी जर्नी है. सो दैट इज द आइडिया, इज टू बी मोस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव वुंड केयर कंपनी एड्रेसिंग ऑल टाइप्स एंड स्टेजेस ऑफ द वुंड्स and be respected in the market how Johnson and Johnson gets the respect, based on science, based on value, based on the solving genuine real life problems, and in the process ensuring that everybody wins, everybody gains, everybody uh, gets the benefit of what we do in a bigger manner. These are some simple vision what we have, and that is what we strive for every day to achieve those visions.
Wonderful.
I hope I have addressed your queries, Neha.
Yes. Govind says your session link was shared to be by my Seshyam sir. He's from IIT Palakkad Incubation Center CEO.
So Govind, you know that then. Sai has seen the journey. He's the CEO of IIT Palakkad, but that's what top institutes across the country, they respect Fibroheal a lot for the sheer science. We have a lot of collaborations, and I hope you have learned something while going back, and you will be able to implement that with your innovation in solving genuine problems.
Wonderful. I think okay. Manisha question है steps to become a successful brand manager. I think Vivek has already answered that. Right? What are the qualities? Steps क्या है? Steps simple है. आप education पे करिए, काम करिए, अपने आप को तैयार करिए. Right, Vivek? This is what you have just said.
Correct.
So and then Sunenda says, like sir, I am currently working in Opthel organization sales executive. What idea should I give to them so that I can enter into brand management? And they are continuously asking.
I think she might be working for Remedio, if I'm not wrong. Remedio is something which is working on that space, and Sun Pharma has recently picked up equity in that. So idea के केस में नहीं होगा. Please understand, you need to be noticed, and you have to be clear that when you want to be prepared, how you is brand management an area which you want genuinely, or you just for the sake of brand management you want it? Because many people are exceedingly good in sales, and they get screwed up when they get into brand management.
Very right. I agree.
So you have to be clear, that brand management मुझे रियल में क्यों चाहिए और क्या वैल्यू मैं क्रिएट करूंगा या करूंगी, and that is what should help you.
People think that it's a very glamorous job. It is not
Correct.
a glamorous, right?
Correct.
There are ups and downs. I think जो आपने कहा, I agree to it totally, Vivek. People should actually understand, where they belong to.
Correct. And what they are good at. So that can be a good solution, good way forward.
Right. Vivek, I think that was a wonderful session. Yes. Amol has one more question. Does anyone want to start a startup in pharma companies? Minimum value needed to run the organization.
Depends on यार, आप एक रूम से भी चला सकते हो आप और 10,000 स्क्वायर फीट भी कम पड़ सकती है. एंड तो ये सारी चीजें आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि व्हाट डू यू वांट टू बिल्ड. इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड ए डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनी, वन मैन आर्मी की, अकेला में सेल्स भी करूंगा और वो भी लूंगा, दैट्स ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन यू कि हाउ बिग इज योर एस्पिरेशन. दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज टोटली
There is no calculation कि इतना पैसा डालोगे तो इतना मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं है.
Correct.
It depends on which part of this company you want to be part of. Supply में जाना है, HR में जाना है, training में जाना है.
True, very true.
वैसे करके आप करते हैं.
Very true.
Vivek, I think I'll stop the questions over here. So Vivek,
couple.
I think there is someone who, please.
Yeah. Hi, Vivek and Rajesh. Such a wonderful session. I really enjoyed it. So I can correlate. I'm also in kind of a medtech company. So we are developing therapy for cancer treatment.
Wonderful.
And I listen you mentioned this point that you saw many papers on silk and there was no product. So we were also in a similar position when we were started developing this magnetic hyperthermia therapy for cancer. There are like 1,000 papers publishing every day, but no product yet in the market. So the question here is, how did you refine your problem? So you started with like kind of solution, right? You have some solution, you have silk based product and then you want to use. So, but that can be used for multiple purpose. So how did you refine your problem? In which exact suture field or this bandage kind of thing, how did you came up to this point actually? So that I wanted to know, because
Sure.
I'm like kind of struggling. So every other day, should I move to this part of body cancer? Should I start with oral cancer? So like hundred of things. So how did you
Yes.
come up this?
So the best way forward is Shilpi is to get into action. What I did was, people said this can, it can be used for breast tissue reconstruction, it can be used for vaginal wall reconstruction, it can be used for cosmetics, it can be used, everything in the world can be done with silk. Okay. Now you get confused, you know that this is a good material. What I started with, one area, I was in Bangalore, there's a hospital called Victoria Hospital, Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute.
Yeah.
I focused on burns. शुरू में रैट मॉडल माउस मॉडल ह्यूमन मॉडल में सब काफी अच्छा रिस्पांस आया to the satisfaction that wow, but when you went into the real, so we created a biomodified biolaminate dressing. मैं पर्सनली लेके गया. When I went there, मैंने सैंपल देके आया, उन्होंने बताया क्या है कि ऐसे ऐसे यूज करना है, एक सैंपल दिखाया, एक देके आया. They have put it on the other side. So one side is hydrophilic, other side is hydrophilic, and it caused allergic reaction. ठीक है. So आप समझ सकती हो कि वहां पे एक जो ह्यूमन की बलि चढ़ी विक्टोरिया हॉस्पिटल में, बिकॉज वुंड गॉट इन्फेक्टेड, but what happened next was, we had some people who were working with us, and that's why I always say that innovation does not need fancy degrees and qualifications. One gentleman suggested us we have to create a mess, and then we started putting a sticker with red color outside and inside, because people should not put that anti what do we say, hydrophobic side on the wound. So we started with wounds, and these failures help you to improvise on the product. So the first sentence came that get into action, get into any area, oral cancer, whichever cancer area you want to get there, talk to people. Then we moved into the wound care space, then we moved into the post-operative space, then we moved into scar and other areas. And that's how, when we see, today we have a comprehensive range of products. But if you would have thought in 2018, I will say I will treat burns, then I will treat some other kind of donor sites. That's how it started. So these are all journeys which evolve. But one of the lessons, because right now what I understand is you are feeling stuck, you are not able to move forward. So the way forward is talk to people, talk to the customers, catch hold of a couple of oncosurgeons, oncologists, and I said, no, one patient, one case, one area, one hospital can change your life. So that one patient and one doctor, take it forward in any area, and you will see that things will start happening. And congratulations that you have the guts to take the step forward and bring it, come to this level. So go to that one hospital, one doctor, and probably after a year you yourself will reach out and say that, hey Vivek, thank you, today I have got 5 hospitals using my product, and I am sure I want to be in this area.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sylvie.
Yeah, it was a wonderful question. Thank you so much.
You having any question?
Your questions, like anyone would like to ask anything? I think it was a wonderful, session, Vivek, to see someone coming from a very humble background, and then, जैसे मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, जो अच्छे लोग होते हैं उनके साथ अच्छा होता है.
Correct.
Right? And that's very important, right? To have this sense of अपने में खुश रहना और अपने हिसाब से काम करना एक बहुत बड़ा क्वालिटी है, जो आजकल लोग, मतलब मैं कहता हूँ ये कि सोशल मीडिया के एज में लोग भूलते जा रहे हैं.
Correct.
People start to live for others, not for themselves. So it's better
Right.
you start living for yourself. If you feel you can give it a try, give it a try. I think it's one of the best times to give it a try.
True.
Like Vivek said, क्या होगा? Fail होंगे, right? But then you can again, like he said, the third quality की गिर के उठना है. That is what make you an entrepreneur. तो एक बार गिरो तो सही, एक बार देखो तो सही कि गिरते हो कि नहीं गिरते हो. अगर गिरोगे तो उठने, अगर उठ गए, like Vivek was just telling Shilpi also, just start करिए बस, आप देखा जाएगा क्या होता है.
और रही बात कि टू एड ऑन टू दिस, रजनीश, ऐसा नहीं है कि फाइब्रोइल की 6 साल की जर्नी ऐसी ही चली है. कई बार हम बंद होने के सिचुएशन पे आके बचे हुए हैं.
जी बिल्कुल.
और अब तो मुझे नहीं, मेरी टीम को, अगर मैं कभी डाउट में हूं तो मेरी टीम को खुद भरोसा होता है, नहीं सर हो जाएगा, कर लेंगे. मेरे से ज्यादा भरोसा मेरी टीम को है कि हम कर लेंगे. इतने, मतलब मेनी नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंसेस यू हैव फेस्ड, सी, एंड दैट गिव्स यू हैप्पीनेस कि हाँ, ये जो लोग हैं, जैसे कभी सेल्स अप होता है, कभी डाउन होता है, अरे सर अभी लास्ट क्वार्टर है ना, देख लेंगे. दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ, So this मतलब एक बार जब आप करोगे और अच्छे लोगों से जुड़े रहोगे ना, so the team and people will lift you up to make it happen.
True. I think right, Sarthak. Thank you so much. Vivek, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajneesh. Thank you, everyone. And
wonderful. And बहुत सारी learnings मिली. And we will very to all those who are still with us, we will very soon come up with the next episode also. Thank you, Vivek, for believing in us. And
thank you, Rajneesh.
As the first speaker for Brand Vaani. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajneesh. Wish Brand Vaani all the best. Wish PMT India and you all the best. It's a very noble cause, and I'm sure I will also urge a lot of students, who are related to various management institutes, want to make a career in pharma. Join PMT India, follow them on LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook, wherever way. And he's an enterprising guy who has, learned product management, marketing strategy, and dealing with various people here, transforms you very well. So get in touch, and wishing you to all the best for PMT India. Rajneesh, you are doing a great job.